Everybody knows Vince Gill now. Country legend, Grammy magnate, respected by pretty much everybody in Nashville. But truth is, it wasn't always like that. Back in the day, Vince wasn't selling out stadiums or collecting trophies. He was broke, dropped by RCA. 4 years of nothing but closed doors and empty pockets. Dude was scraping by, could barely keep the lights on. And now? At 68, he's finally talking. Not just about the music, but the real stuff. The pain, the loss, the love, the backlash, the quiet battles behind the big voice. And man, this story, it hits different. Vince was born in Norman, Oklahoma, 1957. The house, full of music. Not polished, not flashy, homegrown. His dad was a judge who picked a banjo like he was born with one in his hands. His mom, she sang, played harmonica, kept the rhythm of the house. The radio stayed on. Country, gospel, rock and roll, it all soaked into Vince, one note at a time. By 5, he's strumming Old Shep on a beat-up guitar. By 8, he and his half-brother Bob were singing Beach Boys tunes on the radio. Then came his first real guitar, a Gibson ES 335, courtesy of his folks. And that wasn't just a gift. That was belief. Vince didn't go to music school. Nah, he learned by ear, listening, studying, feeling. He'd take that guitar to school, play House of the Rising Sun at show and tell, and leave classmates straight shook. And by high school, the man could play everything. Banjo, fiddle, mandolin, bass, guitar, whatever you handed him, he made it sing. But even with all that talent, his family kept him grounded. Grades first, music second. It gave him balance, roots, and wings. Then came bluegrass, hit him like a freight train. He joined a band called Mountain Smoke, and they started buzzing around Oklahoma, local legend type stuff. And in 1976, they opened for Kiss. Wild crowd, booed him off. Vince flipped the crowd off and mooned him. No cap. It wasn't about disrespect. It was about self-respect. He was real, and he wasn't about to fake it for applause. Now here's where things get serious. At 19, Vince packs his instruments, grabs $200, and hits the road for Louisville, Kentucky. Straight gamble, no college, no backup plan, just dreams and drive. He joins Bluegrass Alliance, sings lead, plays guitar. Then LA calls. Byron Berlin invites him to join a new group called Sundance. Vince rolls with it. New city, new vibe. He's sleeping on couches, chasing gigs, trying to make something stick. He learns the ropes, how sessions work, how to blend genres, how to survive when nobody's watching. But he's still that kid from Oklahoma with a steel string heart. By 1978, he gets pulled into a guitarist audition for Pure Prairie League. He's just there to hang, not even trying to get the gig. 4 hours of jamming later, they offer him the spot. And just like that, Vince is fronting a rock band he once said no to. Then comes Let Me Love You Tonight. Vince on vocals, David Sanborn on sax, and boom, hit. Billboard Hot 100, adult contemporary #1, radio on blast. But behind the numbers, Vince was torn. The sound was cool, but it wasn't his. It leaned pop. He craved country. Real, raw, roots country. 3 albums deep with Pure Prairie League, he finally makes the move. 1982, he's out. Rodney Crowell gives him a call, says, "Come play country." Vince doesn't hesitate. He says yes. And just like that, the shift begins. He's on American Bandstand at 23, lip-syncing his hit on national TV. But inside, he's wondering if this is what music is supposed to feel like. He wanted fiddles, front porches, stories, not studio lights and pre-recorded tracks. And through it all, he never cracked. While other legends were fighting demons, booze, pills, headlines, Vince stayed solid, clean, respectful, grounded. The crowds got louder, but he never lost his home training. But behind closed doors, life hit hard. He lost his brother Bob, devastating. Then years later, his wife Amy Grant nearly died in a bike accident. The love of his life. 1 minute she's riding, the next, hospital bed, wires, machines. And Vince, holding her hand, praying she makes it. She did, but that shook him to the core. And don't forget, their marriage caught heat. She was America's Christian sweetheart. He was already divorced. The church folks, not thrilled, but Vince stood firm. Said, "Judge me if you want, I'm loving who I love." And he meant it. Now, at 68, Vince ain't chasing fame. He's got the Grammys. He's got the respect. What he's chasing now is truth. Songs with weight, stories with soul, moments that matter. So yeah, maybe RCA gave up on him early. Maybe he started with $200 and a van full of dreams. But what they didn't see was a man who would never quit, never fake it, never sell out. Vince Gill didn't just make it, he made it matter. And that's the kind of story that never stops singing.